For this video, we're going to look at x and y intercepts. So what x and y intercepts is we're finding the point where the line passes through your y-axis and then your x-axis. So if this was the line, it would cross there and there. When we have a formula like this, we have to get it into standard form, which is going to look like y equals mx plus b. I know we've done this a million times in class, but that's not a 6, that's a b. Let's just get in the habit. Let me turn on some more light on this one. Okay, so what we're going to do is we have to take this formula and translate it into this form where the y is by itself with no coefficient in front. So we're going to have to move some stuff around. So the first thing I want to do is subtract 4x from both sides. So I'm going to subtract 4x over here, and then that's going to give us, this cancels out. So 4x minus 4x is 0, so nothing is there. And all we're left on this side is 2y. Over here, we're going to bring down the 10, and then there's nothing here, so minus 4x. So right away, I can see we're almost there. I don't like the 4x on the right and the 10 on the left. So again, just remember, this is a positive 10. So this is going to be the same thing as, if I switch them around, as negative 4x plus 10 is 2y. Okay, so I'm hoping you remember to bring down your negatives, which I just forgot. Now, to get rid of that negative, I'm going to divide this by negative 2. Now, I know some of you guys like to just put just a big line underneath and just kind of apply it. I'm going to recommend that you distribute that to both, so it's negative 2 and negative 2. So we're dividing everything on the left by negative 2 and everything by the right by negative 2. The reason I like splitting it up, because sometimes you'll forget to divide the second term. So this way, hopefully you won't forget. So a negative over a negative is a positive. This simplifies to 1, so all we're left over here is y. So y equals, so we have negative 4 over negative 2, so a negative over a negative turns into a positive, so we know we're going to have a positive number. 4 over 2 is just 2. Now, we have a positive over a negative, so I know that this is going to be a negative. So we have positive 10 divided by negative 2. We know it's a negative, so 10 divided by 2 is 5. So your final form is y equals 2x minus 5. So now let's take it into our x and y intercepts. So again, our formula is y equals 2x minus 5. So in class, I started this convention where we would set up a grid where we have our x and where our y, and we're going to set this to 0 and 0. So the first thing is we're going to find our x-intercept and then our y-intercept. Okay, so we're going to find our x value is the mystery, and then our y value is the mystery for the y-intercept. Okay, so let's start from here. So what we need to do is we're going to take that 0 and we're going to substitute the 0 into the formula over here. So 0 is going to be y. So 0 equals 2x minus 5. So that's the first thing that we're working with here. So I want to get this x by itself, so I'm going to add 5 to both sides. Okay, so 0 plus 5 is 5. The negative 5 and the positive 5 cancel out, and then all we're left over here is 2x. Now, we have a 2x, the coefficient in front of the x is 2. I'm going to divide it by 2. If I divide the right side by 2, I have to divide the left side by 2. This simplifies into 1. So all we have is lex. If you have a 2 on the top and the 2 on the bottom, it doesn't cancel out. It simplifies to 1 because 2 over 2 is 1. I don't need to put the 1 there. So this is not 0. So that's why we don't like to say cancel out. Say simplify. This is canceling out. So this simplifies to 1. 5 is a prime number. 2 is a prime number. So your final answer for your x is 5 over 2. And that goes in here. Sorry, that's so small. So 5 over 2 is your x-intercept and 0. And then for your y-intercept, I know some of you guys know right away that you can just take this and put a -5 in there. No problem. But let's just do the math just to be sure. So in this case, we're going to take the 0 and substitute it in for the x. So in this case, we have y equals 2 times 0 minus 5. So any number times 0 is going to be 0. 0 minus 5 is -5. And there's your final answer. So when you're looking at y equals mx plus b, whatever is after the second term, after the first term rather, this is negative in this case, or positive. You would take whatever's here and just bring it down there for your y-intercept. So when I was graphing this, so let's just say I have the first one. 5 over 2 is the same as 2.5, or 2 1/2. So that's 1, 2, 3. So it's going to be somewhere here. And my y is 0, so it lays right on the line. And this one is going to be 0. So your y-intercept is going to just come down and start at 0 and go down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here's your second point. There's your line. So again, we have a positive slope. You can see right away that your m is a positive uphill slope. So there's your x and y intercepts.